Now, let's move on to Michal Gromek from the Global Coalition to Fight Financial Crime. Throughout today's discussion, we've repeatedly heard about the importance of cooperation and information sharing in tackling financial crime. So can you tell us a bit more about what role the Global Coalition to Fight Financial Crime and specifically the Digital Assets Task Force play in fostering cooperation and facilitating the exchange of information? And can you share some concrete examples of how this convening power and cross-sectoral collaboration have translated into tangible impact or successful outcomes?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much to the OSCE in Basel to allow us to join the seminar. And I would like to welcome the participants as well who dedicate their time to join us today. It's very important to understand where we are currently at. So in virtual assets, we have automated Telegram bots, which are now offering off-the-shelf money laundering as a service solution to anyone who has a crypto wallet. I think that's one area. Fabrizio mentioned that the interlink between corruption and virtual assets, and currently with unregulated prediction markets exploding in the US, and then the connection between cryptocurrencies as well to anti-corruption has been on my agenda for the past weeks. And I wouldn't say that I'm winning this fight yet in this particular area. So it's important to underline that they are not longer niched. It's an industrialized operating system in financial crime. And there is a bit of an uncomfortable truth. So the criminals are already collaborating. They are finding the gaps between all of our capacity buildings, trainings, deficiencies. And then the only question that we should ask is, of course, the international cooperation. We do what we can, but we will always be a bit slower. So why are we so slow? Is there anything that we can do? And that's a little bit the part where the Global Coalition to Fight Financial Crime is trying to step in. So we are currently an NGO based in Stockholm, and I think in the next 3 weeks we might be headquartered in Vienna. We have 32 members. OSCE is a member, Basel is a member, Interpol is a member, the World Economic Forum is a member, and many others. And I think we are highly specialized in AML and CFT. So then the goal of the coalition is to bring individuals who do not really work for the coalition full time. So we have our other daily employments, and I have the honor to chair the Digital Asset Task Force, and then sit together and understand what are then the biggest challenges that we have as of now. What can we do before the regulation will potentially step up? So it has taken us 16, 17 years since the creation of the Satoshi paper to the time period where the pan-European MiCA has been now released. And we will have the same challenges now potentially with the prediction markets, with Telegram bots, with infrastructure as a service, with money laundering as a service. So I will even post a couple of links of what is currently outstanding. And one of the papers that is being released now, so we have seen a converge or like a connection between money laundering, terrorism financing, cryptocurrencies, and gaming. So this is a paper that we have been working on, and I have discussed it, for example, with Valentin, because we have been presenting to the Egmont Group and sharing this with the FIUs as well, saying, okay, this is what we think, what is currently happening. This is what we base the knowledge on, and this is our recommendation to the FIUs, to the private sector, to the Web3 ecosystem, what needs to be done or what they can do until the regulatory frameworks will potentially step up. So I'll just post a link in a second because it's to be released shortly. And then we are sharing with the members some of the ideas which have not fully materialized yet. One of the ideas is we are now working on something what we call an attribution center, because we have identified a gap that very often countries are convinced that blockchain analytic companies will be collecting the data on their streets from OTC providers, from crypto ATMs. And in several cases, we have been able to prove, not being in a white shirt, but being in a hoodie and going to different OTC places and collecting cryptocurrency wallet addresses, that this is not the case, that we have been able to see that those cryptocurrency wallet addresses that we have collected have not been spotted in the blockchain analytics software. Of course, they cannot be everywhere, and this is not a very technical discussion here, but then what can we do? Potentially, we can work together with FIUs and create some kind of a attribution center where there will be investigators sent to different countries, and FIUs like Valentine's will then be receiving the cryptocurrency wallet addresses they have collected in those particular countries. So it's a kind of a public-private model to understand that we are an NGO, so it's not for profit, but we do have a little bit of superpowers, and one of the superpowers is that we can work together quite efficiently and then understand what needs to be done. And these are like 2 or 3 of those examples of what is currently outstanding, but the challenges are massive. I have a list of 79 different challenges that we are to tackle. And unfortunately, during the last Interpol summit where Vera was participating, we had 63 challenges. So I was convinced that we'll have less challenges after the summit, but now we have 79 challenges. So there are more challenges coming up. And I think this is how it will be. And this is potentially how it will stay. So we have to find a way to respond to this more effectively. But I think there is feedback and there is a lot of knowledge going into it, how to make this work. And it's very hands-on.